Tell him I think.
Beautiful shot overhead of this quarter-mile facility, Wake County Speedway. 20 modifieds getting ready for battle for 99 laps in the Mod Squad Nationals. Race number 6 on the year for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic comes tonight at Wake County Speedway.
Check, check, 1, 2, check.
It's on. It's up there. So it's the PA. Yeah. Oh yeah. See all the lights now. Turn that off.
Drivers getting settled into their cars. Belts being pulled tight. Steering wheels being clocked. The net's going up. Teams contacting their driver. Spotters making sure that their drivers can hear them. That is what's going on right now prior to the start of the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals. If you haven't had a chance to stop by the tower, some koozies being handed out from Capital Automotive Group right at their tent, right behind the start-finish line. This is a monumental day for the Smart Modified Tour, the 26th track in history for this series, and it comes tonight in Raleigh, North Carolina.
It's always fun to add a new track to such a big list already, and there's a little bit of things that we don't expect to happen because we just don't know. We saw the great shot. The fans have really showed up here at Wake County Speedway, so it's gonna be a good one. It's so good to see so many fans come out here, pack the bull ring, and are here and set to see such good racing.
And look at a guy like the 0-2 right there, Joey Coulter, starting on the final row of this starting lineup after a difficult qualifying run here today. Joey Coulter, one of the championship contenders, he comes into this race 9th in points. It's been a roller coaster year for Joey Coulter. He's had the speed, but not the finishes that he wants. But he's coming off of 2 consecutive top 10 runs.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is not the track where you don't want to qualify at or in the back because of just how hard it is to pass. So it's going to be a challenge for Coulter today to work his way through that field.
You ready to get this party started here tonight?
I am.
Folks, are you ready to see some modified racing at Wake County Speedway? Wesley, they're waiting for you and the command that they all want to hear.
And we are ready for the most famous words in motorsports. Race fans, we need you to help us count it down to get the Capital Automotive Group 199 Mod Squad Nationals underway. I present Scott, Steven, and Randy. Make some noise, Raleigh, for Capital Automotive Group with a command.
Ready?
2, 3.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
The rumble of 600 horsepower comes to life in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals at Wake County Speedway. History being made tonight. This is a wild card event for the Smart Modified Tour because nobody knows what to expect out of this 99-lap battle.
It's going to be a battle of having prior experience. Granted, it wasn't on this new repave, so you're kind of battling a new challenge there. And then you have some drivers that grew up racing at bull rings. It's just such a unique one here in Wake County that these drivers have never seen in a condition like this before.
Qualifying earlier today, a new track record set at Wake County Speedway. The old track record, 11.9 seconds. It's now down to 11.6, and it was set by the 04 car of Brandon Ward. Brandon Ward, so strong, right now comes into this race 4th in the series standings, won the season opener at Florence in Timmonsville, South Carolina, finished 2nd 2 weeks ago at Hickory. The car next to him, Sean McIlerney, is right in the middle of two of the championship contenders. Brandon Ward in the 04, that Polaris off-road machine, in the 25, the Alpine Partners car of Danny Bone, who is the point leader coming into this, the 6th race of the year for the Smart Modified Tour. Thank you to Carolina Drilling and CitraSafe Grill Cleaners for providing the drone coverage tonight around this quarter-mile oval. This place is spectacular, and the fans have come out and forced to support the Mighty Modifieds return for the first time in 10 years. And this is the 26th track in history for the Smart Modified Tour.
I'm telling you what, I was here for the Cars Tour race just a couple weeks ago as a fan, so I am so excited to see what these Smart Modifieds do around this track with how fast they're going to be. Almost a half a second faster than the late models that we saw here with the Cars Tour.
Look at that front row, made up of teenagers. You have the 16 car of 18-year-old Carson Hayslip, the local hotshot, ran the Cars Tour event here earlier this year, the late model stock car champion from last year with more than 60 wins across a bunch of different divisions. He will lead the field to the green flag, and the 15-year-old second-generation racer Carter McMurray alongside. Let's take a look at that starting lineup for today's 99-lap race today at Wake County Speedway. Carson Hayslip and Carter McMurray on the front row, followed by the two-time and defending Smart champion Luke Baldwin and Joey Braun.
Two-time winner this year, Danny Bone, starts in the 5th position. On his outside, Sean McElharney with a qualifying lap that he wasn't really happy about.
Completing the top 10, you Brandon Ward, the Florence winner to open the season, the 04 on the inside of row number 4. And Ryan Newman still looking for win number 1 on the season and in the 8th spot. Will Lambro, Slate Myers, some younger drivers in the field in the top 10 here to start this race.
Jake Karam and Jack Baldwin, two drivers with history in the past, but so far clean this year and also so fast this year. So it's going to be interesting to see them work their way through the field.
Are you sure they were clean? I think they might have had something at Dominion Raceway, but we won't get into that right now. Jonathan Cash, Burt Myers occupy row number 7. Myers actually finished 4th in the Tour Type Modified race here at Wake County way back in 2016.
Two sets of rookies on row 8, Austin McDaniel and Max Hanley, both looking to kind of help their Rookie of the Year odds here with a good finish.
Couple independent runners, 3 of the last 4 starting spots. Daniel Yates out of Lexington, North Carolina, and the nice guy Jimmy Wallace in row number 9. Jason Tutter on the outside of the final row, but a big surprise, Joey Coulter starting that far back, the driver from the Sunshine State.
He's truly going to have to drive the wheels off of it if he wants to work his way up through this pack, because it is a very stout and competitive pack. So it's going to be a rough night for Coulter with only 99 laps.
The Smart Modified Tour visits the Research Triangle of North Carolina. Raleigh, North Carolina, the state capital, hosting the Mod Squad Nationals at Wake County Speedway. Time to build up a little heat in these tires. Think about it, you got 600 horsepower trying to adhere to this patch of asphalt in Raleigh, North Carolina. They haven't been running in a while. The drivers, a little bit of bundle of nerves. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up. It's time to salute your drivers of the Smart Modified Tour with the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals. Storylines aplenty. The top 4 drivers in the starting lineup here today, still looking for win number 1 in 2026.
And make sure you do not blink tonight, Bob, because if you blink, we may miss 15 laps with how fast these drivers are going to be going. It is going to be heart-pounding, just bad to the bone racing for 99 straight laps.
We are making history tonight. The first event for the Smart Mods at Wake County Speedway. It's the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals. 20 cars battling around a quarter-mile patch of asphalt, and it's going to start off at turn number 4. Carson Hayslip with a little bobble there and gets a kind of a bump in the back from his teammate at S&S Racing, Luke Baldwin. Sean McElherney loses a couple of spots in the process.
It's going to be really interesting. They're driving under conditions that they haven't really raced in at all on this track because it's been all during the day. So the handling is going to be completely off on these cars. As you see, Danny Bone under attack by Jake Crum.
Up front, battle for the lead, side by side for the top spot. There goes Joey Braun to the front by Carter McMurray, who led the opening 2 laps of this race.
And we expect Joey Braun to be strong because of his history at Riverhead. And we see it already. Starts in the 4th position, works his way up into 1st.
And Braun said, even though it's a quarter-mile racetrack, it's a little different than what he's used to. Riverhead is a tire management race. This place was paved a few years ago. It does not wear out tires. And because of that, Joey Braun says you can charge hard for all 99 laps.
And we're seeing it already as he's opening a little over a car length on Carter McMurray and just trying to open that lead and pull away.
The proverbial chrome horn, I believe, will come into play. Most of these front bumpers on these machines are black these days, but they might not be straight by the end of 99 laps. Right now, everybody being patient. 7 laps into this one. Joey Braun, the 24, is your leader. Carter McMurray in 2nd. And how about Carson Hayslip? First modified race ever. He leads the field to the green flag, running in 3rd in that Pace-O-Matic 16 VA.
It's going to be fun watching Carson Hayslip. He didn't get the best restart. It kind of looked like Baldwin got into the back of them on the start, and that's what caused him to drop. But he has by far the most experience on this track.
Brandon Ward currently in 5th in that Polaris Off-Road 04. With the 77 of Will Lambros right behind him. Lambros has been impressive as of late. A little hiccup to his season in the last race at Hickory. He sits 8th in the points. He's got a 5th and a 6th. Will Lambros working to the inside of Brandon Ward.
And for a road course racer who's been road course racing his whole career, coming to the ovals and racing in the modifieds, it's been so impressive to see what Will Lambros has been able to do as we see him just off the back of Brandon Ward, who is one of the championship favorites.
Lambros always very strong, no matter where he races. He adapts to a race course very well, and that comes from that road racing style that he brings to modified racing this year. The 77 of Lambros putting the pressure on the 04 of Brandon Ward.
It looks like Luke Baldwin's kind of holding up Brandon Ward a little bit right now, trying to get him out of the way, and that's what allows Lambros to just stay onto the back of him. So it's going to be interesting to watch. That Baldwin car wasn't great in practice today, did qualify better, but still wasn't liking the handling of that car.
Yeah, Baldwin's been struggling with that 7 VA a little bit this year. Back up front we go, and McMurray has reeled in Joey Braun. Young kids, 23-year-old Joey Braun out of Long Island, New York, and 15-year-old Carter McMurray, the son of Daytona 500 winner Jamie McMurray.
Hearing you say 23-year-old makes me feel a little bit better, because with how young this field is, it makes me feel old. But yeah, this is going to be a fun battle. Joey Braun versus Carter McMurray. McMurray's having such a better sophomore season, and he's kind of getting used to these cars. As we talked to him pre-race, he really loves how these things drive.
He said he had this race at Wake County circled on his calendar all year. He ran a couple of Legends cars events here years ago and fell in love with Wake County. The battle for the lead is on the right side of your screen. Battle a little bit further back, from 4th on back, you see that black and yellow 7 VA, little bumper tag action going on right there. That's Luke Baldwin in the 4th spot with Brandon Ward, Will Lambros, and then behind that, Ryan Newman in the Bass Pro Shops machine.
We're kind of seeing the drivers bide their time a little bit right now. Only 20 laps in, they're racing kind of slow and being conservative, but you can see McMurray constantly peeking to the inside of Braun, trying to get that move, as you see him looking on the inside once again.
Trouble for championship contender Brandon Ward, and he is piled into in turn number 2. That'll bring out the first VCU Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center caution of this Mod Squad Nationals.
You got to think this might have been a contact with Lambros or ahead of him with Baldwin, because Baldwin was really holding up those cars behind him. And then this is all the cars that were running behind Baldwin that are now stacked up.
Slate Myers in the number 4 was the car that made contact with the already spun Brandon Ward, but he was being shoved by several rows of cars to get into the 0-4. So this is a big hit for Brandon Ward. Ward came into this race 4th in the series point standings, 17 markers behind Danny Bone in the 25. This team is incredible. The Kevin Powell Speed Motorsports with Polaris Off-Road on the side. They can win every race on the schedule, but today a little bit of bad luck kind of struck for the 0-4.
And for Brandon Ward, it's been really hit or miss throughout the season with the bad luck. Look at South Boston where they blew up an engine only a couple laps into the race. Now here you get the wreck.
Let's take a look at the replay of what happened to Brandon Ward. Live coverage saw that he was spun. There is Will Lambros to the inside. Lambros on the bottom side of the racetrack, and it looks like Lambros, that 77 car, just shoved the nose ever so slightly up into the 0-4 and then rode over the front end of Brandon Ward's machine.
It's going to be interesting to see if Lambros has any damage just because of that airtime that he got riding over the front of the 04.
Let's take a quick break here on Flow Racing and come back with more from Raleigh, North Carolina. A lot of damage to the 0-4 of Brandon Ward.
On screen, you see Sean McElharney. A lot of damage to this 15 Shady Grady machine. You can see the hole in the front. Made a lot of contact in that spin, and it's a fortunate end to McElharney's race. Only 21 laps into this. We saw a lot of damage for multiple cars. You see the steam rolling up the front, the radiators damaged, just all around, just a bad night for that 15 car.
Bad break for Sean McElharney. 11th in points, was hoping to claw his way into the top 10, but he's going to be able to get back out there. But man, he's missing a secret weapon right there. He won't have the use of his front bumper the rest of this race. And here's the replay of what happened again. That 77 of Lambros. Watch him shove the nose right there a little bit up into the 0-4 car. Tight racing in 1 and 2, and then drives over the front end of that Polaris off-road car for Brandon Ward. Then several drivers just kind of get shoved into there. It looks like the Stokes Shoes machine, the 7NY of Jack Baldwin, was also involved in that incident just ever so slightly.
And that's the driver in third in points. So that could be two big points hits for both the driver in third in Jack Baldwin and the driver in fourth in Brandon Ward. As you can see, the 04 team taking a look at the engine and all the damage in the front. That's Brandon Ward standing in the front of the vehicle. Very, very tough night for that 04 team.
Brandon Ward very disappointed. There's the 25 car. That is the point leader, Danny Bone. And Danny hoping to have a good run here. He won the most recent race at Hickory Motor Speedway just a couple of weeks ago, but Danny being scored back in 9th at the time of this caution. He's going to pick up a spot or two with Will Lambros having trouble, as well as Brandon Ward being out of the race right now. So Danny Bone in a unique spot here because Brandon Ward, one of his top competitors for the championship, 4th in points, is out. Baldwin was barely involved in that incident. He was 3rd in points. So Ryan Newman, the only car ahead of Danny Bone right now in the top 4 in the point standings.
And we saw Burt Myers, too, with damage to the front of his car. Still on the racetrack, thankfully for him. But the one that's really happy about this is Joey Braun. If you can have a good race and execute top 3 today, you could jump from being 6th in points to possibly being in that top 3.
Jonathan Cash on pit road. The Hillbilly Racing team serviced that race car. So Jake Cash making some changes early in here. Jonathan Cash in that race car this year for David Hill, 12th at the time of this caution. There's Joey Braun in the 23-year-old leading this race, looking for his first career Smart Modified Tour win. 2 wins in Tour-type modified racing at Riverhead Raceway in Long Island, New York. That quarter mile up there, beautiful scenery around Riverhead Raceway with the ocean on the south and then the Long Island Sound to the north.
It's on my bucket list for one of the tracks to visit for sure. But Joey Braun, the end of last season was so strong and there was just so much misfortune. And now this year, they get it right and we just see how talented he is and how good he's been.
There's the CitraSafe Grill Cleaners Choose Cone. CitraSafe, the best grill cleaner on the market. Get your CitraSafe Grill Cleaner at Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, a whole lot more. They got great scouring pads, but you just spray that grill cleaner on your grill. You wipe it off with one of those scouring pads, and you are ready to go cooking. If it's race season, it's grilling season, and you need yourself some CitraSafe Grill Cleaner.
Joey Braun picking the outside here is going to be interesting. It looked like he really liked where he was on that restart and saw how Carter McMurray pinched off Hayslip at the beginning.
I don't know if this is the right move. We'll see in turn number 1. The inside groove, definitely the preferred line around this racetrack. But what do I know? Joey Braun making me look really bad right now because that was a great run. He diamonded that corner down to 1 and 2 to get the lead again.
He started 4th on that initial restart or that initial start of the race, and he just kind of followed Carter McMurray around the outside on the start. So he learned something there, and he gets that jump immediately on the rest of the pack.
Luke Baldwin in 3rd in that Pace-O-Matic 7 VA, having one of his better runs of the season. He's been bitten with bad luck this entire season. That car not exactly the way he has wanted it the entire season as well. He finished on the podium at Anderson in the 2nd race of the year.
And his car today, not like he wanted, just like a trend throughout the whole season. But if he's running 3rd, the field is in trouble if they get it into his liking.
2nd and 1st, 4th and 5th in this race. 2nd and 1st in points. Ryan Newman in 4th. 5th place is Danny Bone. Both of them biting their time early in this one. Joey Braun slips up. That opens up the door for Carter McMurray. Here comes the 15-year-old son of Jamie McMurray battling for the lead in the Mod Squad Nationals.
It seems like in turn 1 and 2, that outside is a little bit more preferred if you're trying to pass because you can pinch them off when you're diamonding the turn. But 3 and 4, that inside is going to be way more prevalent.
A little nudge from the front bumper to the back bumper from Carter McMurray to Joey Braun. Braun gets that nudge, and he had a handful coming off the corner. 2 laps to go, a lap and a half now until we get to the conclusion of the Bell Helmet stage. 1 more to go. Joey Braun trying to hold off Carter McMurray. McMurray pouring on the heat right now on Joey Braun's 24. Here comes McMurray on the inside. They race to the line, but it'll be Joey Braun winning Bell Helmet stage 1. And the VCU Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center caution is out. And that is the completed stage at the conclusion of lap number 30. So Joey Braun, Carter McMurray, and Luke Baldwin get a little extra cash in their pocket, walking away from Wake County Speedway tonight. And more importantly, some crucial points that go towards the championship equation.
It was really fun to watch those 2 race coming to the Bell Helmet Stage 1, but also right behind them that the cameras didn't show, Luke Baldwin and Ryan Newman were almost side by side coming to that checkered or that orange and white checkered flag for the end of Stage 1.
We will take a quick break here on Flow Racing at the end of 30 laps. We still got plenty of racing here in the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Speedway fans, what do you guys think of the Smart Modified Tour? I think we can do a little better about that. How about that Smart Modified Tour? That's what I like to hear. Who wants to see him in 2027? All right, we'll see if we can talk him into coming back. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my entire family, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate what a great crowd, what an awesome event this is tonight. Can't express enough appreciation to Randy Mason, Casey Best, Stephen Best, and Scott Johnson with all the Capital Auto Group. Without them guys, I promise you this wouldn't be possible. And what a night tonight. Great to have. How many Capital Auto Group employees do we have in the house? Make some noise. I know there's maybe a couple hundred of you, so great to have you guys here. Thank you for what you do to help support racing and the Capital Auto Group. And I know all the upper management thanks you guys for the hard work that you guys put in.
Interesting scenario playing out early in the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals. Third in points is Jack Baldwin. Baldwin nosed in to his pit area when everybody else is as they would normally pit during a race. But right now, a lot of work being done to that Stoke Shoes machine.
It almost just looked like they pulled in to give themselves a little bit more room to switch those tires because there wasn't really any adjustments made. So that's a good sign for the 7NY as he's going to back out and rejoin the field.
So Baldwin's going to pull off pit road and rejoin the field. Was running 14th before the caution. Was a little bit higher than that when he was caught up in the previous yellow flag with that incident off of turn number 2.
We see a few other drivers pull off behind Baldwin. Burt Myers, you have Jimmy Wallace, Slate Myers still on the pit road. There's Slate Myers right there pulling off in the 4, and Jake Crum. There goes Jonathan Cash making some adjustments on that Crum car, but it's going to be Joey Braun and Carter McMurray who have been still running away with it.
Let's go to the race electronics. Race communication, Joey Braun leading this race. You look like you're at home at this racetrack. How's it going?
We're a little snug right now. Planning on a long run. We'll have to see if this thing gets a little freer, roll the center a little bit better, but I love this place. It's a ton of fun.
I see you chose the outside lane on that last restart. Is that something that you think you would do some more coming up? That was interesting for us up in the booth.
I'm not letting all my secrets out on TV, but it's working pretty good.
Indeed. Thank you, Joey. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Joey Braun, spoken like a true Long Islander for sure, but it was interesting to see him. You know, you would not expect that to happen in terms of choosing the outside lane, and they're coming to the CitraSafe Choose Cone again this time, and Braun goes to the top side again. He likes that run. He gets off of that diamond corner down in 1 and 2 at Wake County.
That's exactly what it is. It's just the shape of how 1 and 2 is. It goes into a complete straight backstretch while the front stretch is a little bit of a more horseshoe shape, if you would say. So he can get that diamond off and kind of squeeze McMurray to allow him to get that better run.
But McMurray was pretty good. Remember, Braun a little bit tight, and maybe he knows that and doesn't want to shove his nose and cause a wreck in the center of the corner as well. Baldwin on the outside of row number 2, Ryan Newman on the inside as they come back to the Pace-O-Matic restart zone. Oh, McMurray spins the tires or misses a shift that allows Luke Baldwin to hop into second on this restart. Bad break for 15-year-old Carter McMurray. but he has regained his composure and has settled into third. Best battle, Ryan Newman and Carson Hayslip. Hayslip in the 16, first modified race for him, and he's in the top 5.
It's really dangerous for these modifieds running too wide through turn 1 and 2 because pit wall juts out just a little bit. So if you get squeezed into the exit of that wall, it could break one of those front tires.
Here's Newman trying to get to the underside of Hayslip in the 16, last year's late model stock car champion at Wade County. As we mentioned, more than 60 wins at this racetrack in a variety of divisions. This guy knows it, but he said, you know what? This is the coolest car I've ever run at Wade County. I'm modified here tonight.
Hayslip's going to be a tough pass all night long because of how well he knows this racetrack. And that's kind of funny because he has another dude that's really hard to pass, and Ryan Newman trying to pass him right now.
And Will Lambros in the red 77 still there. Lambros, remember, rode over the front end of Brandon Ward, so it appears that car is okay.
These modifieds are built like tanks, so that's what allows them to keep going. You see him peak inside of Newman. The 77 is fast. It's just about can he control the runs.
And that was the same move that he made. Almost gets into Newman right there. Will Lambros really feathering that loud pedal to not shove his nose, and he's able to get the spot. So Lambros having a great run. Will Lambros, the rookie, up to 5th. Back up front, Joey Braun in the 24, holding off Luke Baldwin. Baldwin was not happy with that car yesterday, not happy in practice. He's got to be a lot more happy right now because he puts the bumper in a challenge for the lead. 60 laps to go in the Mod Squad Nationals.
You're starting to really be able to tell that Joey Braun's battling that tight condition throughout the turns because Baldwin's able to just sneak right up to that back bumper to try to get him out of the way. But the good thing for Braun, these tires are so wide, it's going to be hard to move him.
So a Troyer machine for the 24 up front. Second and third place and fourth place. Actually, 5th place as well. All PSR chassis race cars. PSR has been a force here in the South over the last decade in the Smart Modified Tour. Carter McMurray in the 40. Oh, puts the bumper to Luke Baldwin and gives Baldwin a run on the bottom side of Joey Braun. Battle for the lead no more. Luke Baldwin to the front in the Mod Squad Nationals.
There's a little bit of an accordion effect, you could say, where McMurray hit Baldwin and then Baldwin hit Braun, and it sent Braun sideways and up the track. And now Braun is in a bad position. He could lose multiple spots here.
Braun might get freight trained on the outside, but he's doing a great job on the tough way around Wake County Speedway. Carter McMurray now up to second. You can see his right front brake rotor glowing. Can Braun get down? Contact between Hayslip and the 16 and Braun. Braun saves it. Magnificent job out of that driver from Long Island. Lambros in 5th in the 77. Newman in 6th, and point leader Danny Bone back in 7th in that blue and white 25. Joey Coulter's having himself a run. He's in the top 10 after starting on the final row.
He's been doing it kind of sneakily too, just kind of working his way. He got through that chaos of that big wreck, and it's just been working his way. We see him on Jack Baldwin right now trying to get around over the top, and that's a good battle for the 8th position. So Coulter's been really good throughout the start of this race.
Battle for 3rd starting to brew a little bit here as well. The 16, that Pace-O-Matic yellow and black car, starting to work on Joey Braun. And the top 2 checking out while the better battles are a little bit behind that. Carter McMurray keeps on peeking his nose to the inside. And the interesting thing here, Will, is the fact that those front brake rotors on Luke Baldwin's car not glowing whatsoever from what I can tell, but Carter McMurray is working his brake hard.
Baldwin could have a little bit more of a balanced brake balance on that car, and McMurray has it more set to that front to help him get that good turn. So 2 different strategies on how they set up the race car, but McMurray's really hounding that 7 VA car.
And right now, Luke Baldwin's car does not want to turn coming off the corner. McMurray, a little contact in 1 and 2 with Luke Baldwin in the battle for the lead with 46 to go. Interesting, because I thought McMurray was going to have the run he needed. Carson Hayslip is in 4th, Will Lambros in 5th, Newman back to 6th, Danny Bone in 7th. Here's the double box. And we're keeping an eye on the left side of your screen. Joey Braun trying to hang on to third. Hayslip has gotten underneath him on a couple of different occasions, and Lambros is just trying to figure out which car he's going to go with.
You can tell Braun's really starting to struggle now with that tight condition in the car as we have the caution flag waving.
We got a couple of cars stopped down in the corner by virtue of our Carolina drilling. Citrus Safe Cleaners, and that is Jimmy Wallace and Slate Myers to bring out the VCU Massey caution. Third incident of this race. Slate Myers has had himself a difficult season, 15th in points coming into this one. He was fast at Dominion, got taken out of that race, but Slate Myers, his learning curve here in Smart has been difficult at times.
I talked to him pre-race too, and he said this was a track he's never experienced before, and it's kind of been hard for him to really grasp what he needs to do around Wake County Speedway, and we're seeing that so far with the early struggles.
So Slate Myers in the number 4 will have to go to the back of the field. You see the car in front of him. Max Hanley in the 45. He too is trying to figure out this place, and Burt Myers is still a little bit further back than he wanted to in the number 1 car. Here is what happened down in the corner. We're going to look getting into the corner, and it appears as though, hard to tell if there was contact right there, but Jimmy Wallace started spinning, and it looked like Slate Myers might have gotten on the brakes and maybe had just a little bit too much rear brake in that car, and around went the number 4.
Yeah, that was an interesting situation because when you see two cars spin in unison, it's kind of hard to tell what happened, especially since they're spinning coming into frame already. You can't really tell if there was contact or if it was a chain reaction. You see Burt Myers on the screen right now with a really bent up front bumper after contact in that first wreck where Brandon Ward was spun coming into the pits.
Right now we're getting a report from several drivers to look at turn number 2, addressing their spotters, possible fluid down in turn number 2. There is the Citrus Safe number 1 of Burt Myers, Daniel Yates on pit road, as is Slate Myers. So it looks like a little bit of work going to be done to the Myers tandem on pit road. Jonathan Cash on pit road, Joey Coulter, Ryan Newman, Max Hanley, several cars taking this opportunity to pit right now. And we understand that the Austin McDaniel machine of the 14 is being looked at for possible fluid leaking from that Honda of Concord's machine.
Seeing all these drivers pit, it's interesting to see Joey Braun not pit with him struggling from that loose condition so far. But we do see a bunch of different drivers getting adjustments.
Let's go to the Racing Electronics Race Communication. Luke Baldwin in the lead behind the wheel of that 7VA. Luke, how's that car right now? To me, it might look like it might be a little bit tight coming off the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like our strength all day was probably going to be our long run, but I wasn't sure, how strong it was going to be. We fought this car all weekend, trying to get it in good shape, and Phil and Neil and the guys at DSR and Statler Stanley Racing have got it in the best spot it's been. So I think we have something to work with. We'll see what we can make happen here.
Real quickly, Luke, is this place fun?
This place is a blast. I'm having a lot of fun for sure, whether I'm racing side by side or just cutting laps on my own.
Good luck, buddy. Luke Baldwin behind the wheel of the Pace-O-Matic. Number 7VA is the leader at this stage of the race. Carter McMurray in that second spot. Still plenty of racing to go in this one. 55 of 99 complete. Luke Baldwin won the H. Williams Financial Services halfway point of this race. He'll pick up a little extra cash in this race. And thank you to Haley Williams for all she does for the Smart Modified Tour. If you would like to have some financial planning of your own, please reach out to her. H. Williams Capital, the sponsor of the Halfway Leader Award with the Smart Modified Tour.
It's so cool to see the adjustments that they're making on pit road. As we saw Ryan Newman, they're changing the stagger on those tires to really fit the handling of the car for the rest of the race. You see Burt Myers there, got his one fresh tire, and then the stagger turned around on those tires to fit what he is looking for. Pulling out, still a very bent front bumper, but that's okay. Tonight, it's probably going to bother him a little bit more because he's going to need it to help make passes throughout the field. So it's going to be interesting to watch this one of Burt Myers try to work his way from the back. "55 laps into this race. Luke Baldwin leads. Carter McMurray having a great run in second. Joey Braun in third. And Hayslip in fourth.
Let's go to Carson Hayslip running in the top 5 right now. I want to know, are you a modified fan now?
Yeah, no, I'm having a blast, and just kind of getting used to these guys racing. This is a little tougher than what I'm used to, so just gonna keep pushing. We still got a little bit of time, so I think fourth right here is good. So ready to keep it rocking.
You got the choose cone coming up, buddy, coming off of turn number 4. How do you like this race car right now?
It's real good. I think it's one of the best ones out here. So we're gonna see right here what we can do.
That's Carson Hayslip running in the top 5 in the 16 VA for Bill Stanley and Hermie Sadler. I'm sure Bill Stanley watching and Hermie watching tonight. Big shout out to you and for all that you do, bringing these teams, high quality teams, to the Smart Modified Tour.
I think it's awesome. Every person that we've heard get in that 16 talk about how much of a different racing environment it is in these modifieds.
Baldwin on the outside chooses that lane. Carter McMurray on the inside. McMurray has been very strong, but can he get the run up off the quarter? That was a great run by the 15-year-old Carter McMurray, duking it out with one of the best in the business, Luke Baldwin. But Baldwin edges his nose ever so slightly. Can he get the run and get back to the front? Noses out in front of Carter McMurray, but this battle is not done.
Carter McMurray really loose off of 2, able to keep it going, but Baldwin finally clears him. And then the first battle we have is Hayslip versus Lambros for that 4th position.
Lambros goes underneath. Hayslip gets the spot, and now here comes Danny Bone as well. But Bone slips up coming off the corner. And how about the run back through the field for the Stoke Shoes 7NY of Jack Baldwin, using the outside groove to try to break in to the top 5. Right now, Baldwin 1 spot out of a top 5 spot. He gets by Bone, now dives to the bottom, gets a shot from behind by Danny Bone.
And with these bigger tires, you can basically just ride that bump if you're the car in front all the way into the turn, and we saw Baldwin do that as Coulter on the outside of Bone now out of nowhere.
And Lambros on the inside of Joey Braun. So Joey Coulter coming back through the field. He just pitted, probably got that right rear tire. All these teams can take 1 tire at any juncture of this race, and Coulter was on pit road in that last caution, and it looks like with that red rim, he took that right rear fresh tire. So Baldwin up to 6, Coulter up to 7, Danny Bone back to 8. Look at Burt Myers too, marching back through the field after getting that fresh right rear.
There was big contact too right on the back of that screen. It looked like Bone and Coulter got into each other because of a bump from Burt Myers. But you see here, Carter McMurray just hounding the back of this Luke Baldwin car.
This is the best we've seen Carter McMurray. Talented race car driver, winner in Legends, winner in Crate Modifieds, and now Carter McMurray trying to lead in the Mod Squad Nationals. The 15-year-old battling the 19-year-old, the youth gone wild in the Smart Modified Tour, and it's Carter McMurray to the lead at Wake County.
And we said in the pre-race, Carter McMurray was excited for this. As we see Lambros make contact with Baldwin, and it sends him around, and they hook up on the right front.
A pair of PSR race cars getting together. The bad luck continues for the 2-time champ Luke Baldwin. Wow. This is how the season has gone for Luke Baldwin. So much talent behind the wheel, winner in Crate Mods. Then he comes over to the Smart Modified Tour, wins the title in his rookie season, backs it up last year. But this year, nothing but bad luck for the driver of the 7VA. Wow.
Racing has been super, super intense, and we still have around 32 laps to go.
And that's the second time that Will Lambros has been involved. And you see the coverage there from the CitraSafe Carolina Drilling drone camera, and wow, some cars just barely getting by that one. And it looks like Lambros just broke loose. Instead of shoving the nose like he did earlier with Brandon Ward, that back end kind of came around on him, and he just got into the side of Luke Baldwin.
Unfortunate situation for both of those cars. Good thing for both of them, though, they are still running. One running for that Rookie of the Year contention in Lambros, and then Baldwin just trying to have a good finish after such a rough start to the season. Doesn't look like there is much damage to that 77 car.
And we're getting reports that a car that we can't see right now by our camera standpoint, Jack Baldwin may have hit the inside wall. So we're going to take a look at that here in just a second to see if he has some damage, because he has that 7NY has disappeared from the top 10 in this field right now. That would be a bad break for Jack Baldwin. I believe he's off of turn number 2 where the Hoosier tire truck is. I see a lot of activity over there and some flashing lights. There's Will Lambros, and there is a tow truck down in the corner, and we are being told that Jack Baldwin is stopped on the racetrack on the inside.
You could see on that replay when they showed it, one of the white cars, and it turns out to be Jack Baldwin, got into the wall trying to avoid them on the inside, and I think it may have done just a little bit too much damage to that right or left front of that car. Very unfortunate for the driver that is third in the points standing. Bad finish to the race last week. And now coming off on the tow truck is that Stokes Shoes 7NY. You could see the damage on the left front of that vehicle. The tire almost off of the rim.
Can I talk to you, Joey? Let's go to the Racing Electronics Race Communication. Joey Coulter, you got that tire coming through the field mightily right now. How good is that race car at this juncture with a bunch of time still to go in this race?
I mean, pretty good. It used up the first right rear there a little bit, I think, that first run. But man, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're just going to keep doing what we can, put on a good show. And Greg goes fast right now. Harold and the guys have done a good job sticking with me this week. It's been up and down so far today, but hey, we're here. We got a shot.
Good luck, Joey. We appreciate you talking to us. Joey Coulter in the 0-2. There is the 7VA of Luke Baldwin after that incident with Will Lambros on pit road. You knew that if we had remained green for a couple more laps, you would not see Luke Baldwin on pit road. But he's got to go to the rear anyway. Why not come down, try to fix that race car ever so slightly, and allow Baldwin to take that tire and charge through the field? We're seeing a lot of other drivers have a lot of success with a fresh right rear.
It almost looks like they're having him back it into their stall in a sense.
I believe the 7NY behind that tow truck, a couple other cars kind of blocking the exit right there, and that's why Luke Baldwin is having to do like a 15-point turn to get off of pit road. So the 7NY, see Lambros about to pull off, but that 7NY, that white machine, remember, third in points was Jack Baldwin. He's been bit a couple of times in this race. He's got his window net down as that team assesses the damage. Looks like they're going to try to get him back out there.
The good thing for that team, too, is when we're under caution, none of the laps count. So as long as he can get back out before the green flag flies, he will just start at the rear of the field on the same lap as everybody else. So that Stokes Shoes crew is working as hard as possible to get Jack back on the track.
Will Lambros involved in that incident. Will, you had a good run going. What happened going into turn number 1 with that incident?
Yeah, we were doing pretty good. I was just on the inside of Luke and drove it into Luke, and he kind of came on me, so we both kind of went around the minute.
Will, you got that right rear tire now. Going to have to charge through the field. What are you thinking?
We still got 33 to go. A lot of these guys are on old tires, so hopefully we can pick off a lot of guys with this extra speed we got.
Coming to the choose cone, buddy.
Me, man.
So let's see what Will Lambrose, Luke Baldwin, and some others that just took a fresh right rear, what they can do. It appears as though that fresh right rear is like the secret sauce for charging through this field. We are set for the restart. Carter McMurray, the control car. He's the leader. Carson Hayslip on the outside of this one. And it looks like we're going to go at least another lap as immediately the VCU Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center caution came back out as they were in the middle of 3 and 4. So not quite ready for the restart just yet.
Something to watch here is if McMurray can hit his shifts correctly, because we've seen in the past at Dominion he was the control car, missed a shift, caused a wreck, and that kind of derailed his night.
He did that tonight as well. Remember, in one of the restarts earlier on in this race, and the master of Wake County is to his outside, the 18-year-old Carson Hayslip, who's run all sorts of divisions here. He knows this track like the back of his hand. By the way, Jack Baldwin, we told you he was going back out in the racetrack. That Stoke Shoes machine back on pit road to the attention of his team. They are still scrambling to get him back out on the racetrack. Danny Bone, Joey Coulter, the veterans in row number 2. Can they take advantage of maybe a mishap or a mistake from one of these teenagers on the front row? Coming back to green here, 66 laps complete in the Mod Squad Nationals. Hayslip, a little nudge to Carter McMurray. McMurray hangs on, but Danny Bone is up to second.
Great jump by McMurray on that start as the control car got that lead. Danny Bone just followed him through, and it really slowed down Joey Coulter. He's the big loser of all of this.
Coulter on the outside of the number 1 car, the Mount Airy Toyota machine for Jake Crum. Coulter 9th in points, Jake Crum 7th in points in that number 1 car coming into this one. So now single file, at least momentarily. Bone looks to the inside of Carter McMurray while Coulter continues to look to the outside of Carson Hayslip, but Hayslip kind of runs that groove up just a little bit on the entrance to each corner, and that's kind of thwarting the efforts of Coulter.
Coulter's the only driver we've seen really try to pass on that top, so we know he has a car that can handle, as they're too wide behind him, but he is all over the back bumper of that 16 car.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Coulter, Ryan Newman goes to the top side as well. Newman in the Bass Pro Shops Capital Automotive Group machine. Little contact between Hayslip and Coulter that opens up the door for Newman to charge on the outside. Here comes Coulter, slams the 16, and Coulter going to be able to pick up the spot. He's up to 3rd.
There might be a problem with Hayslip. He's starting to fall really far back and is off the pace, just kind of getting pushed by everybody.
And Hayslip, maybe the tire is going away on that race car. He is charged hard. Speaking of charging hard, here comes Newman. Newman, no wins so far this year, 2nd in points. He's charging hard late in the going with 24 laps to go. All over the back bumper of Jake Crum. Crum says, okay, you're going to hit me, let me let you go. Max Handley, nice to see Max Handley running up front. We talked about that earlier today on the drive up here to Raleigh. This is Max Handley's type of racetrack. He loves quarter-mile racetracks. He's won at Riverhead Raceway and Crate Mods, and now he's having himself a run here. The 45 now up into the top 5.
And sometimes all you got to do in these quarter-mile tracks is survive, and that's what he's been doing, and that's what allowed him to work his way through. Oh my goodness, Burt Myers gets in a little too deep and takes out Jake Crum as it sends him to the outside wall.
Burt Myers into the side of the one of Jake Crum. Want to see that once again. I believe Burt Myers might have locked up the brakes a little bit, shoved that nose up into Crum, but I'm sure Crum not all too happy in that Mount Airy Toyota machine. Oh, he's pulling up to the bumper. Bowman Gray style at Wake County Speedway. Crum hits the front end of Burt Myers' machine. Crum has been known in the past to have a temper, and he shows his displeasure to Burt Myers. A little wild instance during this VCU Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center caution.
I'm sure the officials are not going to like this one, especially mid-race like this, not at the end of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what they put on Jake Crum for his antics.
I understand the frustration from Jake Crum. He's now pushing Burt Myers. At the same time, you got to stop and collect yourself, regain that composure. Jake Crum, the owner of his own team, pulling up alongside of Burt Myers to have an unpleasant word or two, I'm sure. Slate Myers, by the way, was there to defend Dad just in case. That's a little Madhouse style with the Smart Modified Tour at Wake County. Crum is ticked off and heads to pit road.
I got to say, that's a first for me in the 3 years that I've been with this series. Crum in pit road now. It looks like they're going to change the tires around, make sure that everything is still correct on that car. The VCU Massey caution is out, so the cars are going to start rolling again. They stopped them on the front stretch just to get that settled. The crew assessing the damage on that 1JC car.
It's enough, I believe, to knock him out of the race. You see Annabeth Crum leaning into the window to talk to her husband. Annabeth, a hard-nosed racer herself in crate mods and late model stock cars.
Look at the fluid coming out of that race car. Signs of overheating.
Let's go to the Racing Electronics Race Communication. Danny Bones sitting in second. What's your thoughts here with just over 20 to go?
It's been a pretty wild race. I kind of just trying to keep all four tires on it for the first roll up until now. So pit window's open, so we'll see what we got.
Pit window open, but you've been hanging on there in second. You think you got a shot at this one?
Yeah, I mean, it just all depends on how this restart goes. I think we're good enough to run with him. You know, if he aces this restart, then he's got a shot too. So we'll see what happens.
Good luck, Danny. Some words right now between Jake Crum and I believe the Myers team. Crum not happy. Annabeth trying to calm him down. Trying to see what's going on here. That's Max Hanley's team, so maybe something happened on the racetrack between the 45 group and Jake Crum as well as they move away from the car to talk about it. Burt Myers, by the way, not involved in this one in terms of stopping on the racetrack, so he will get his spot back. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened during this incident between Jake Crum on the outside and that orange number one is Burt Myers. Watch as they go down into turn number 3, and it appears to me as though Jake Crum came down the racetrack and Burt Myers just did not want to give an inch whatsoever.
You also saw the smoke off those front tires of Burt Myers, so a little signification that he did lock up those tires indeed. So kind of drivers meeting in the middle, and you saw how violently that 1JC spun. So it's just unfortunate, and they were both just trying to get around that 45 of Max Hanley.
So that has sorted itself out, if you will. Jake Crum hitting Burt Myers. We're getting set to go back to green. It appears this time by. Nope, they're going to call it off once again. Pace truck not out ahead of the field just enough, so we'll go one more lap with 21 circuits still to go in this one. Carter McMurray, the 15-year-old, in the lead. The veteran Danny Bone with already 2 wins to his credit this year on the outside. Can he get that mojo, that momentum running on the outside? Because you know Newman's going to want to fill the hole. Newman in the 2 is starting third.
The one I got my eye on is Joey Coulter. He's in 4th, which is not ideal, but he has been getting such good jumps, and this car is so good on the long run.
Crucial restart late in the Mod Squad Nationals. Great restart by Danny Bone. Can he get the momentum coming off of turn number 2? Carter McMurray's been so strong on the bottom. Side by side for the top 4 right now. Late in the going in the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals. Danny Bone, a little bit of an advantage. Can he do it again off of turn number 2? A little bit sideways, and Danny Bone to the lead in the Mod Squad Nationals. Carter McMurray, a valiant battle, falls short. He falls back to second, and here comes Coulter. Coulter sideways, like the dirt late model driver he used to be.
Danny Bone looking to get that hat trick on the season, but Joey Coulter wants to put a stop on that. He is so strong on the outside. The only race car we've been able to see if they make contact.
Carter McMurray makes contact now with Luke Baldwin, but contact between Coulter and McMurray brings out the caution with 18 laps to go at Wake. That was a wild one. Gonna have to see the replay of that one to find out exactly what happened. But it appeared as though the 02 and the 40 made a little contact, and then the rest was history. Carter McMurray trying to hang on, and then Luke Baldwin, that bad luck bug continues to bite him.
I will say, Luke Baldwin made one of the best saves we have probably seen all year long. Had it completely sideways turned to the outside wall, was able to keep it off of everybody, and that's what allows him to continue in this race.
But if you're Luke Baldwin, you just got to be ticked off. Ticked off with this season. One top 5 finish so far. You don't even want to talk about the rest of his finishes, but it's not because of his effort, not because of the effort of this team. They have struggled a little bit with the handling on this car. It's put them in some precarious positions, but a lot of bad luck has really reached out and wrangled him in 2026.
The other driver with the bad luck is his PSR teammate in Carter McMurray. Just runs so well all season long and then just cannot finish the race, whether it's to his own doing or to somebody else involving him into an incident. McMurray's just had such bad luck all season.
Here's a look at it. McMurray and Coulter getting into it, and then just a bunch of cars, including Jonathan Cash and Slate Myers, into it to bring out this VCU Massey caution. Let's take a look one more time. And here you see, kind of gets bottlenecked. It looked like Baldwin there, second view, didn't make that contact with McMurray, just kind of tried to slow up, whoa up before making that contact and wound up spinning out that race car.
It was a great save by Luke. It's a really interesting situation because that we were seeing it live on the broadcast, and it just looked like that Coulter could have came down just a little bit and caught that right front tire.
Ryan Newman on the Racing Electronics race communication. There's the contact that brought out this caution. But Newman, I want to talk to you. You're sitting third right now. What do you think? These restarts are crazy. What are your shots at this race?
Well, they're better than they were at the start of the race. I just don't know what's going to happen on this next restart, if both guys are going to pick high or what. But we're in a much better, we're in the best place we've been the entire race. We just got to make something happen here. I don't have the race car that I wanted to have, but I think I still have one that's going to be close to good enough to win.
Hey, that outside groove is really kind of coming into his own. Is that a big surprise for you here throughout this race?
I don't know that it's a surprise because it's my first time here, but I'm glad that the racetrack has 2 grooves and we can use them.
Good luck, Ryan. We wish you the best. Ryan Newman in that 2 machine, running in third. Max Hanley, that 45 car has been just so much fun to watch. Best run of the year for the driver, running 5th right now.
Yeah, the top rookie in the field, sitting in that 4th position, and then 2 behind him is Will Lambros. So a very good Rookie of the Year battle with 2 of the strongest rookies in the field, really just going pound for pound with each other, trying to beat each other for the end of the year award. As they get the field situated, it's going to be Danny Bone, Joey Coulter, who started in 19th, has gained 18 positions in this race so far, will start second. Ryan Newman, who we just talked to, in third. Max Hanley in 4th. Burt Myers in 5th. And Will Lambros will be in 6th. Hayslip will be 7th in that 16 VA, and Jimmy Wallace having a very clean run will be in the 8th position.
So the Citrus Safe Choose Cone will be out coming off of turn number 4. Danny Bone grabbing the lead, and Danny Bone will choose that inside groove despite the runs that we've seen, and that gives Joey Coulter the opportunity to use the groove that he's been so strong with here in the last little bit.
Picking the inside's an interesting one if you're Danny Bone, but if he's confident with how his restarts have been on that bottom, then you got to rock with it because Joey Coulter is so that outside. We're going to see two of the best cars in the field right now just go side by side in the bull ring for the finish.
Less than 20 to go in the Mod Squad Nationals, and another critical restart. Danny Bone with a great jump in the 25, but what can Coulter do? Max Hanley up to third, the rookie in the 45.
Max Hanley dives it on the inside. Great run through the middle of the turn, but just a good runoff by Coulter, and Coulter's going to be able to clear him by 1 and 2.
Coulter into second. Hanley a little sideways coming off of turn number 2, trying to hold off Ryan Newman for third. Burt Myers and Will Lambros duking it out right behind them.
Newman trying to do what Coulter's been doing all race and go around the outside of Hanley, but now Coulter's got his sight set on Bone. You see Lambros on the outside of Burt Myers. Burt Myers completes the pass. Hanley continues the fight on the inside of Newman.
Newman looking strong on the outside. He just talked about the fact that it was nice to see two grooves of racing at a quarter mile racetrack, and I think that's because of the banking that they have here, 7 to 9 degrees, and that really helps keep that momentum up. But I'm with Max Hanley, best run that this team has had in that Joe Denseski prepared race car.
He was excited for today too with just how this racetrack is built. It's a little less banking than Riverhead, but it still fits that similar style.
But Hanley had started way back in the field, and when he talked to us during the Pace-O-Matic pit party, he was not confident. Look at the pair of Long Islanders here. Hanley in the 45, Lambros in the 77. They built them tough on Long Island.
Lambros just trying to get Hanley past him, but Newman is just so good on the outside. Lambros squeeze it on the inside, and that's going to be too tight. Lambros with a dirt late model level save, and he's going to keep it going.
No way. Incredible by Will Lambros after that contact with Hanley to keep that car pointed in the right direction. A little bump from Hayslip in the 16, who's still in the top 10, just outside the top 5 as a matter of fact. Under 10 to go right now for Danny Bone. Wow, great racing at Wake County with the Smart Modified Tour. It's Danny Bone over Joey Coulter. Coulter, best run of the season for him in second. Third is Ryan Newman. Max Hanley still in fourth. Lambros in that red 77 in fifth. And there's the battle for sixth between Hayslip and Carter McMurray in the 40. Hayslip in the 16. They were battling for the lead earlier in the race.
Carter McMurray just trying to make that rebound after that incident that he had about 20 laps ago, trying to just gain as many positions as possible.
Danny Bone, now 4 laps to go in this one. Bone with about a 2-car length, 3-car length lead over the 0-2 of Joey Coulter. We keep our eyes peeled with our double box in the battle for the lead on the right. And then, Hayslip and Lambros make a little contact coming down the front stretch in a battle for 5th. Lambros holds on again in the red 77. 2 to go, 2 laps to go in the Mod Squad Nationals. Danny Bone trying to do it again, and do it this time on a quarter mile. Danny Bone has been the car to beat so far this year. Danny Bone is a former hockey player and a hockey aficionado, and today he will score the hat trick in 2026. 3 wins, and the latest coming in the Mod Squad Nationals at Wake County. Incredible performance by Danny Bone here today. Hold on. Hold on. Wait 1 second. I see the VCU Massey Comprehensive Cancer Center caution is flying, trying to get clarification of whether this race is officially over. Will Lambros spun in turn number 2. Oh boy, here we go. Lambros on that final lap, bringing out the caution, and that will result in a restart, Will.
It wouldn't be Friday night lights at the bull ring if you didn't have that drama of the race. And we've already had our plentiful, but a green, white, checkered is just going to send it overboard. This is going to be crazy, and I'm kind of confused on how this happened, but we're here and we're going to see a green, white, checkered.
That's what I thought. Okay. So the clarification is on the radio that the caution was thrown just prior to Danny Bone taking the checkered flag. The spin happened before he took the checkered flag. The car did cross the line with the checkered flag out. However, on the radio communication, the race was called to the yellow flag condition prior to him crossing the line.
I am going to say, even if Danny Bone wins or doesn't win, this post-race interview is going to be a very, very one with all top 3 of these drivers, depending on how this plays out.
Definitely interesting scenario for Danny Bone. All the photographers were out on pit road. The fans were gathering at the start-finish line, ready to go down and celebrate with Danny Bone as the winner, but the caution was called on the radio just prior to him crossing the line. Drama at the end of the Mod Squad Nationals at Wake County.
I'll tell you what, Bob, my heart rate is up right now. I am just nervous for how this is going to turn out. Danny Bone and Joey Coulter one more time.
Battle between Joey Coulter and Danny Bone. Coulter's got a shot here. Danny Bone takes him a little bit high, coming off of turn number 4. 1 lap to go for Danny Bone. Look at the battle for the win here. A green-white checker finish. Who is it going to be at the line? Danny Bone edges ahead and wins the Mod Squad National.
Go, buddy. Way to drive it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, boys. Oh, Danny Bone right there. That's the way to get. That's the side.
Second time taking the checker was just as nice as the first. Danny Bone in a drag race off of turn number 4 beats Joey Coulter, who scores his best finish of the year.
One thing that was lost in all that chaos, Bob, Carter McMurray works his way all the way back up to 4th place. Ryan Newman on that last turn was able to get the exit off of the corner and pass Joey Coulter for 2nd place. So the top 3 will be Danny Bone, Ryan Newman, and Joey Coulter that you will see lined up on the front stretch. Danny Bone, for all the hockey fans out there, pulls off the coveted hat trick here at Wake County Speedway. 3 wins in a row. You see Danny Bone arm out the car with the checkered flag. Coming back to the front stretch here. Pulling into the raised victory lane in pit road. Danny Bone gets on to the victory lane. The beautiful blue and white 25 car raises the checker flag. You see Popeye sitting right there on the beam of the right side of his car. The smart officials getting Bone ready to climb out of the race car. The crew checking the tires.
And if you've never seen the shape cars before, you are in for a treat.
Let's toss it down to Bob Dillner here as Danny Bone is getting ready to climb out in victory lane for the third straight time.
Drama at the Smart Modified. Go figure. Danny Bone wins at Wake County. Thought he took the checkered flag the first time, but the caution was called just prior to him crossing the line. And now he's officially the winner of the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad National. What a that was. Coulter, best run of the season on the outside, digging hard. But it's Team 25 that is victorious at Wake County Speedway tonight. Mike Smith congratulating his driver. Danny Bone, a former hockey player, scores a hat trick of wins in 2026. This one of the Mod Squad Nationals. Capital Automotive Group sponsoring tonight's festivities in Raleigh, North Carolina. Bone will pick up the Justin Smarty Trophy in just a minute. Victory lane here for the Capital Automotive Group, 199 tonight. 199 total laps. Bone making his way over here. It's narrow. Don't trip, Danny. You didn't stumble all night. I don't want you to stumble here. First, took the checkered flag. Caution was called just prior to that. You had to battle again. Just what's your thoughts on the end of this race?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain because we still won the race, but I thought it was over there when we come out of 4. You know, usually they throw the checker, but you know, hats off to these guys. Awesome race car. Got to congratulate Jacob and his wife for having a baby today. And like I said, just everybody that helps with this thing. This has been so much fun. I've never been the guy to win a lot of races every year and, you know, always was consistent. But to knock 3 out of 6 off in the Smart Tour with the competition we race against, you know, it's just a testament to these guys and how hard they work on this car. It's been a lot of fun. You know, I got to thank the fans for coming out. It's an awesome crowd, awesome facility, awesome racetrack. This is I cut my teeth, you know, growing up at Wall Stadium and then Bowman Gray Stadium racing at tracks like this. So, honestly, I never seen the place till I pulled in here again this morning like Anderson. But, you know, awesome place to race at, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
I know you didn't want to have to battle Coulter, but it was quite the battle after that restart. Coming down to those final 2 laps, just your thoughts on Joey Coulter and his performance really wrestling on the outside.
Nah, he ran really well tonight, and, you know, I got off the bottom there and kind of run him up a little bit, but, you know, we are racing for the win. And, you know, he had a good shot at it. Like, he hung strong on the outside. And, you know, I think, like I said, we had a 3-car length lead coming to the checkers. So it kind of worked out the way I think it should have. But hats off to those guys. And we get a little bit of a break. We'll go to Bowman Gray next weekend. And then, I guess, Franklin County on the 29th.
Danny Bone, we're going to have you reach into this Hoosier free racing tire draw. I know you want to thank your sponsors, too.
Like I said, it's Alpine Partners, Amerifast Supply, BK Properties, Dancer Farms, Robert Yates Race Engines, Ernest Shocks, Hyperco, Vernon's Bank, Capital is on the car again tonight, Cutting Edge Stoneworks, Nitro, Chalu, all those guys. Like, man, I'm just very fortunate to have great sponsors that support me so we come out and do stuff like this.
Danny Bone has won half the races so far in 2026 with the Smart Modified Tour, and the 13th place finisher will win a free set of Hoosier racing tires by virtue of Danny selecting that number. The Justin Smarty Trophy now being presented to Danny Bone for the third time this year. I remember when he got his first, he slept with it. after that big win at the beach a couple of years ago, but Danny Bone victorious again, this time at Wake County.
The rest of the top 10, Danny Bone with his 6th career win in the Smart Modified Tour. Ryan Newman, 2nd place, followed by Joey Coulter. Carter McMurray on a great rebound. Max Hanley, one of his best finishes of the season. Burt Myers, Luke Baldwin, Slate Myers, Jimmy Wallace, and Jonathan Cash rounds out the top 10.
Joey Coulter with a great run on the outside of Danny Bone in that 2nd finish. Your thoughts on that entire ordeal?
I mean, I'm glad I got a 2nd shot at it. I kind of that first restart on the top, I let him run my race a little bit too much there, and then the 2nd one, man, it's why I love this series. You got guys with so much talent, so much experience, and we can go do that and not run over each other. And we're leaning and bumping and rubbing, and 3rd's disappointing when you're that close, but I mean, we're here. We started all the way behind the back, and then drove up there and had fun running around the top here. This place hasn't changed a bit.
Podium finish, Joey Coulter had a shot at the win coming off of turn number 4. He winds up with a great finish in 3rd here tonight.
You can see Danny Bone getting the pictures with his whole crew as Bob looks for Ryan Newman. A lot of great finishes throughout this field today, and what a bounce back by Carter McMurray. Had a spin with around 25 laps to go, works his way from the back all the way to the front, back to 4th. And then for anybody wondering, that Hoosier free tire is going to go to Jake Crum, who finished in that 13th position. Luke Baldwin, another good rebound, finishing in that 7th position. We're going to throw it back down to Bob Dillner with the interview with 2nd place Ryan Newman.
Yeah, great run for Ryan Newman, battling back and having a shot at this one late in the race. Newman walking up after getting that car on the scales. Ryan, that was a wild one. A couple of finishes there. Just your thoughts on the entire thing.
Well, I mean, it was a good first race, I thought, for the Smart Tour here at Wake County Speedway. Thanks to Capital Auto Group for all that they did to put this race on, all the fans for coming out, Flow Racing for putting it on TV for everybody to see. We come up one spot short, and I could have shoved Danny down into turn 3, or at least knocked him sideways and had a better shot at the win, but that's not how I race. I race clean, race hard, and Danny races me the same way. So congratulations to him and his team. We gotta work a little harder. Gotta thank Bass Pro Shops, Montrose Molders, Aggressive Hydraulics, Capital Auto Group, TAE, so many people, the K&K Trailers, all the guys that are a part of this, Lucas Oil that helped, Simpson Race Products for keeping me safe, and again, thanks to fans for coming out. It's a pretty good crowd tonight.
You get a little bit of a break right now, but you go back to a track that I know you loved last year, Franklin County Raceway.
Yeah, we won one by about 3 inches there last year, so look forward to going back there. Danny's been tough, and we just got to keep ourselves in this points deal. It was a good points nights for us too, even though we lost them to him. It's not the way the championship works, so we're still in a good spot.
2nd place for Ryan Newman. Still 1 and 2 in the points are Danny Bone and Ryan Newman after the Capital Automotive Group Mod Squad Nationals at Wake County Speedway. Incredible run to the finish, incredible night. What a wonderful time it is to have modifieds back at Wake County Speedway for the in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Chris Williams and everybody with the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic, I'm Bob Dillner, and you got plenty of racing still to come tonight here at Wake County Speedway.